of your Kelvin cycle. So in the previous session, that is your part 1, we have discussed the overall framework of your dark reaction. So what did the Melvin and Kelvin co-workers have demonstrated? What did they have interpreted? So in the previous class, we have discussed that this particular Kelvin cycle, C3 cycle, is a 3-step process which includes carboxylation, reduction and regeneration. Okay, so as well we have also discussed the key enzyme and the key step. The key enzyme is RuBisCO, that is nothing but ribulose biphosphate carboxylase and oxygenase. So this is the key enzyme required for your dark reaction. So this enzyme is based on 3 external factors. So that is temperature, carbon dioxide and oxygen. If this enzyme activates, this enzyme activity is having both carboxylase and as well your oxygenase activity basing on the external factors. So temperature is overall okay for this enzyme and as well your carbon dioxide. If in the external factor more amount of concentration of carbon dioxide is more, then this particular enzyme acts as a carboxylase enzyme activity. If your oxygen content is more, then this enzyme acts as oxygenase enzyme activity. So this is the key enzyme required for your dark reaction, that is your C3 cycle. Now what happens in carboxylation? In detail, in-depth cycle we will be learning in series of reaction minded. So now in this carboxylation reaction, so this, as I said earlier, this cycle is a 3-step process. So this class will take little bit time. In order to get for easy understanding purpose, I am telling this class in a series of video tutorials. So in the this is your part 2. So in the, as I said earlier, this Kelvin cycle is a 3-step process, that is carboxylation, reduction and regeneration. What happens in carboxylation? So this carboxylation reaction is nothing but the CO2 is the main product, is the main compound that will go and react with your RuBP. So CO2 goes and binds with RuBP. So that is ribulose biphosphate. So binding of your RuBP is nothing but carboxylation. So carboxylation of RuBP is the first initial step that is observed in your C3 cycle. See, in the previous class, in the previous session, I have discussed that Kelvin and his co-workers have interpreted and anticipated. They have said that the carbon dioxide will go and react with a 2 carbon containing compound, but this is not what's actually happening. So this carbon dioxide will go and react with a 5 carbon containing compound, that is RuBP. This is a ketose sugar, isn't it? So this carbon containing compound is a ketose sugar. The 5 carbon containing compound, that is ribulose biphosphate, which is a ketose sugar, will go and react with your carbon dioxide. So this is the first step, that is nothing but carboxylation. During this reaction, there is a formation of 12, in a series of manner, 12 molecules of phosphoglyceric acid. So this is the end product for your carboxylation reaction. So that is phosphoglyceric acid. So when carbon dioxide will go and react with your RuBP, that is your 5 carbon containing compound. So the formed product is your phosphoglyceric acid. Now this phosphoglyceric acid will enter into the next step, that is your reduction. So this is the first step. Now in your reduction, what happens? The formed phosphoglyceric acid will reduced with the help of 2 molecules of phosphorylating high energy compound, that is your ATP, and your two molecules of NADPH reducing power, which gives 3 glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate. Glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate. So this is the end product for your carboxylation. So what is happening in carboxylation? What is happening in carboxylation? Carbon dioxide will carboxylase, will go and bind with your RUBP with the help of the enzyme Rubisco. Isn't it? We have already discussed about Rubisco. This is a key enzyme. So, and there is also some interpretation that the plant leaf. So this is your leaf. Totally the protein content in your leaf, the 50% of your protein content in your leaf is due to presence of your Rubisco enzyme. So think that how much amount of Rubisco is present in your plant leaf. Okay, so this is about carboxylation. So the formed product is your phosphoglyceric acid. Now this phosphoglyceric acid with the help of two molecules of 2 ATP, high energy compound, and 2 molecules of NADPH, that is your reducing power, to form glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate. Now third step is your regeneration. So in your regeneration, there is one more thing. In the second step itself, formation of, this is a triose, 3 carbon containing compound and 2 carbon containing compound are formed, which will lead to the formation of glucose. So this is how glucose is formed. Now in the third step, that is your regeneration. So regenerating all your carbon containing compounds with the help of 2 ATP molecules will form your trioses and your 2 carbon containing compounds, which leads to the generation of RUBP. So again the cycle starts. So this is your RUBP. So in the third step, with the help of 2 ATP molecules, RUBP is generated with several transketolase and transaldolase enzymes. Transketolase and transaldolase. Okay, so these are also key enzymes in your third step, that is your regeneration, where you will get the molecule RUBP with the help of 2 ATP molecules. So now this RUBP again go and introduce with your carbon dioxide. So again the cycle starts. Okay, so this is a cyclic process: carboxylation, reduction and regeneration. In carboxylation, the carbon dioxide will go and interact with your RUBP, where your carboxylation step is formed. This RUBP is a 5 carbon containing compound and ketose sugar with the help of the enzyme Rubisco, which is a key enzyme. Okay, next is your reduction, which takes help of 2 ATP molecules and 2 NADPH, that is your reducing power for the formation of glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate. So with the help of phosphoglyceric acid, that is with the help of phosphoglyceric acid and your 2 ATP and 2 NADPH molecules, glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate is formed. So this is a 2 carbon containing compound, and the 2 carbon containing molecule is DHAP, and your 3 carbon containing, that is your glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate. Now with this reduction, formation of glucose is observed. So that is the food material for your plants. Now in the third step, regeneration, with the help of 2 ATP molecules and with the help of transketolase and transaldolase enzyme in a series of manner, there is a synthesis of several trioses. So then the formed product is your RUBP. So again this will recycle and with your carbon dioxide to form phosphoglyceric acid. So this is how your C3 cycle works. But there is one more important point behind this story is work out that how many carbon dioxide molecules are involved in C3 cycle and how many compounds of ATP molecules are released, how many ATP molecules are released, and how many reducing power is released. So work out that, just assume that totally 6 carbon dioxide molecules are involved in this cycle. For 6 carbon dioxide, 1 glucose is synthesized, isn't it? So this carbon dioxide, 6 molecules of carbon dioxide will take 6 turns to form one glucose. So for each turn, it releases 2 ATP. So one carbon dioxide will release one glucose molecule and 3 ATP and 2 molecules of NADPH. So and this carbon dioxide goes through into a 6 cycles, then one glucose is released and 6 threes are 18 ATP molecules and 12 NADPH molecules are released in your C3 cycle. So this is your food material during your C3 cycle. So 6 carbon dioxide molecules, when it will enter into your C3 cycle with the help of 3 ATP molecules and 2 NADPH molecules, then it will release one glucose, only one glucose, and 18 ATP and 12 NADPH molecules are synthesized during your Kelvin cycle. So this is the overall framework for your C3 cycle. So in the next video tutorial, we will be learning about the cycle and the structures of several carbon containing compounds that are involved during your C3 cycle. Thank you.